20 Weeks, and I'm Nawaf Nafisi, and pleasure to have you. And I'll leave it to Ali to start off in terms of the questions and so forth.
Brother Tony Weeks, it's a pleasure to speaking to you. It's just it's wonderful, you know. I've been seeing you for years. First of all, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to
Alaikum
our
salam.
first podcast for Boxing Doctor News.
Yes, walaikum salam, brother. Yes, first of all, it's always my honor and pleasure to be recognized and appreciated. As a referee, so it's my honor to be on here.
Thank you very much, brother. Yeah, you're not just any referee. You're a legendary referee to be growing up. I have seen you, with the likes of Mike Tyson, Holyfield. Those are some legendary fights. And
Hmm.
I think we're entering the golden era of boxing right now with Turki Al-Sheikh putting all those wonderful fights. Um, and I would love to see you, come back in that remix, and doing your thing.
Yes, inshallah. Yes, no, it's yeah, I've been doing this for a while now, and I've been truly blessed to be in this sport. I grew up watching boxing. I grew up, during the Muhammad Ali days. Leonard Hearns, Duran, Hagler, you name it. Fighters went 15 rounds. Um, so I grew up with the sport, and
Mm,
by the blessings, I became a part of it.
wow. Let me ask you a question. What
Mm.
led you to become a referee, and how did this journey started?
Well, actually, I kind of fell into it. At the time, I was working as a recreation supervisor in the maximum security penitentiary, and we had some fighters up there, or a fighter up there, who was interested in boxing when he got out. And I had one of the trainers that I knew of locally. I arranged it, for having to have him come up and speak, to the fighter. And being, working in recreation, you have the leeway to, kind of go outside the box sometimes.
Yeah,
Uh, and I thought, hey, what about, I'm talking to the trainer, what about you bring up some, some fighters. We put the ring up there in the rec yard and, make an little event out of it. And he agreed. And it was the trainer was Willie Borchet, and he was one of the boxing coaches out there at the time when I was living in Phoenix, Arizona.
hmm,
Uh, and then another trainer, Beto Martinez. Um, and what had happened was I kind of got permission to allow the inmate to box. And we kind of made it in a little event there where we made he brought a couple of fighters up, and I made his fight kind of like the main event. If you
yeah,
can imagine setting the ring up there in the rec yard,
yeah,
and it was packed. This has never been done before, and hasn't been done since. But what happened was when they got up there and they started sparring, it dawned on me that I didn't get a referee, and I it was more out of curiosity. I asked the trainer, "Hey, you mind if I get up there?" And I got up there and I started, refereeing the fight, and I felt right at home. It was a natural fit, and instantly I fell in love with it. I said, this is what I want to do, or this is what I would
wow,
like to do.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, and the trainer, yes, and the trainer, one of the trainers, Beto Martinez, asked me if I ever done that before. I said no. He says, "Well, I think you should look into it, and because you have good natural movements." And what he did, he took it a step further and called the Arizona State Boxing Commission, and told him about me, and told him, hey, give this guy a shot, and he gave me a shot, and the rest is history.
and I think that as you're mentioning, Coach Martinez, seeing that you have that natural movement, that was an eye opener. Whether you're a coach or a fighter, someone recognizing that you have that talent, and you also looking at yourself that what, yeah, I got something going on. So that's good that Coach Martinez recognized
Yeah,
you got something, and you believed in yourself
yeah,
to continue. But I
absolutely,
also believe that you love the sport of boxing, not just the
absolutely,
referee part,
mhm,
right? And maybe it's
absolutely.
your dad, your grandparents, so, it's a family thing. Because I know, boxing in the old generation, like my grandparents, like they love boxing. We hear about
Yeah,
Muhammad Ali, like it's not he was such a legend. Those Ali Foreman. Still today we hear those echoes, those names. So I
yes,
can imagine,
yes.
when you're younger, how it was.
Oh yeah, and also to go back to the exhibition I put on the prison, I actually have it on tape, on film. And when I look at it today, I don't. Now I can see what he saw in me because I don't look too much different,
Oh wow.
today. But no, I remember as a kid, I was 6 or 7 years old, and
Mm.
I'm coming in the house, and my father and his friends are surrounded by this little transistor radio, listening to the first Ali Liston fight. And
Wow.
back then, when it was
Yeah.
called Cassius Clay. And I just remember hearing his name over and over, and Clay lands this and Clay lands that, and I got kind of mad. I said, "What about the other guy? What's he doing?"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But looking back at it, that was a seed that was planted in me, because when Ali came back from his exile, yeah, I just fell in love with him and fell in love with the game, with boxing. And yeah, you're right about, you really have to have a really love for the sport, and
Yeah.
a really appreciation for the sport and respect for the sport, especially if you're going to become an official. You can't
Yeah.
you can't want to be an official, because of the money, the fame, you won't last. You have to have respect for the sport and the fighters and what they do and what they go through.
And you're saying this. We have the big fight coming up today. Um, I was watching a video, and it's saying that Arthur better be, he has no music playing. He has, like, basically there's no sound, no instruments, nothing. He just works out.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I believe that discipline is something else, because you don't need. I personally believe you know for most fighters, music elevates them, and or helps them. If that helps you, that helps you. But the thing is, I believe a true fighter does not need anything to elevate them, because he himself
Hmm.
is a machine. You're you're
Yeah,
you're you're
yeah.
you're you're training to be a superior athlete, and that mindset.
Hmm.
So I think,
Yeah.
like yourself, you're talking about being a referee, the things you went through. I think that natural talent that you have, you didn't need outside help. You went and seeked
Hmm.
um, uh, all the knowledge by yourself to be where you are today.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Of course, like I say, this is a different era in boxing. Back then, the old school fighters, a lot of them, didn't train in these high tech gyms.
Yeah,
They had the small gyms, no air conditioning, just a huge fan blowing, and away from their families and friends, all the distractions and everything was focusing on that fight. However they train, 6 weeks, 12 8 weeks, 12 weeks, uh everything was just steady focused on that fight and stuff. And and of course, a lot of back then, a lot of those fighters were really hungry,
yeah, yeah.
and you were wanting to get in there and test their skills against another fighter.
And I think also, to what I see today, always over the years we hear boxing is dead, but every year we hear this, but it's just almost like it's coming back alive every year.
Oh
So
yeah.
boxing will never die. It's a
No.
legendary sport,
No. Yeah.
and it's still generating millions of dollars.
Hmm.
So I don't see it dying. It's just growing.
No.
But what I
No.
will say, what I believe what has happened over the years and why Turkey Lashek, thanks God, by the permission of God, he's helping the sport of boxing grow.
Yeah.
What I
Yeah.
believe is you see this mix that is happening, Daniel Dubois all of a sudden, because of his illness pulled out, and then you have Martin Bukol, how you pronounce his name, Bukole, Martin Bukole.
Hmm.
Um, he's the guy who'll be facing Joseph Parker. Now
Yeah.
that is an amazing mix-up, right? The
Hmm.
thing is, these things wouldn't be happening a few years ago, and
Hmm.
that was the situation why boxing. We love watching boxing. We love watching exciting fights, but we don't
Hmm.
see these mix-ups, right? A fight doesn't
Hmm.
happen. That's it. That's it. Now we're
Yeah.
having all this mix-up happening, and I also believe there is talents from even a country like
Hmm.
Somalia.
Oh yeah.
People. I don't. Like that. That's what I love being a coach because I
Hmm.
love to not. I just don't love underdogs. The passion for me, if I had the
Yeah.
ability, I would go to the poorest country and build a world champion there
Hmm.
because
Yes.
it doesn't matter where you come from. It's who you
Hmm.
are as an individual, as a human being, because God made us all equal. Doesn't matter your skin color,
Yes.
your ethnicity,
Hmm.
your background.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing to see today what's happening with boxing, with Turkey Lashik, what's doing, because the heavyweight boxing is on the rise again. The talents
Hmm.
will be pushed to their ability to perform
Hmm.
because the money is generating and they
Hmm.
are being pushed to go perform their best ability.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean, yeah, of course, if the fans want to see the fights that they want to see
Exactly.
between these fighters, and that's what really needs to happen. Like I say, back in the day, everybody fought. Duran fought,
Mm,
Leonard, Hearns, Hagler, Julio Cesar Chavez. All these guys. They fought each other
yeah.
and in their prime.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think when that starts to happen again, and like you say, first of all, boxing, no, boxing will never die.
Yeah.
There's always going to be competition out there. um and in my worldly travels, yeah, there's a lot of great talent out there,
Yes, absolutely.
that's not really discovered yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of the poor nations that may not have the facilities, that a lot of the other countries may have. But like I say, and you as a coach can attest to this, you have to have that hunger, you
Mm,
know, that
yeah.
hunger, that thirst, that drive, to be a champion, because you have to push yourself to the limit and beyond.
Yeah.
And that takes great mental concentration and yeah, focus. And so that, like, we know everything starts up here in the mind.
Hmm.
And so when you can bring back that drive, and people step up, to the plate, and hey, challenge yourself. Every fighter wants to, let me go back. you know
Yeah.
Ali and a lot of those guys, Leonard, Hearns, Hagel, all those guys, they had great challengers.
Yeah.
They had great matches, and in my opinion, that's the true test of a champion. You want to pitch yourself against somebody that you could possibly lose.
Yes.
You want to know, how your skills match up and stuff. So I think if that starts to come back, and you start to bring some names in the arena, from around the world. It'll bring boxing back up.
I got a question,
I
Ali.
think Brother Noaf had a question.
Yeah.
Noaf, did you want to say
Hmm.
something?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ali. And Tony, thank you for your time. And I was paying attention to the conversation, how you said in terms of hunger and a champion testing himself against another champion because there's a huge risk, as you said, in terms of losing. But I wanted to talk to you about hunger versus passion from your experience of what you've seen over the years. We've seen fighters
Hmm.
who gone through severe poverty, and that's how they develop that hunger because it built their character
Hmm.
to not give up. It pushed them beyond the limits to a point where they
Hmm.
got nothing to lose, yet they give everything and more into their training sessions, into the ring, into the fighter that they face.
Hmm.
And it builds a
Yes.
fighter like no other. That's how legends are made. But if I look at
Yes.
like an example of that is Mike Tyson. He lived on the street at one point. Had it not been
Hmm.
for Castamata, he would have still been living on the street. But if we look at Muhammad
Hmm.
Ali, he came from a wholesome
Hmm.
family. He had his mom and dad and
Yeah.
brother, correct? So my question
Yes.
is and that's a fighter who wanted to be great. He had the passion for it. He had the
Right.
greatness for it.
Right.
So,
Right.
in your opinion, which type would actually produce a great legendary fighter? Is it the poverty that produces the hunger, or is it the passion?
Well, first of all, no matter what your circumstances are, you have to have that drive within you.
Yeah.
Okay, that has to be there. Now, of course, when you are growing up in poverty or difficult situations, yeah, that's an extra motivation, to get out of that situation. You know,
Sure.
when you talk about Muhammad Ali, uh, he definitely had a special gift, and
Yeah.
he took that gift that he had and he brought it to the next level.
Yes.
Okay. No, yeah, he didn't grow up in poverty, middle class family, and
Yeah.
but he had that passion within inside that
Right.
when he recognized his passion, when he recognized what he can do, that drove it to another level. Um,
Yeah.
uh, people, like you say, we're all born with some type of God-given talent,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
is up to us to cultivate that talent. So it can go either way, but like I say, someone has to have that passion with inside them, But once again, you can have a little extra boost when you're growing up in a difficult situation.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I
Uh,
guess the reason I asked this is because I wanted to know, as you said, that thing inside you that drives you, are you born with it or are you
Mhm.
made that way? And I guess you can have both. And I guess whatever God blessed you with talent, it's how far you're willing to take it. I guess that's
Mhm.
the answer that I would understand from you.
you
Well,
know
let
what?
me, I'm sorry.
No,
Let
no,
me let
go
me
go
say
ahead,
this.
brother.
Yeah, let me
Go.
say this in terms of being a referee.
Mm.
When I started refereeing boxing, one of my co-workers, rest in peace, uh, Al Munoz, who was a referee out of Phoenix, Arizona, he told me referees aren't made; they're born. And
Hmm.
I at the time I didn't understand that, but going through the years now I understand it. There's something that you have to have in you
Hmm.
Yeah.
that like I was saying before, going back to when I stepped in that ring in that exhibition, I didn't feel awkward. I felt at home. So it was something that was already in me, that now I needed to take it to the next level, and I believe the same thing is in with fighters. You know, uh, some fighters are born natural fighters.
Mm-hmm.
That you just have to take, like, you take Roberto Duran. He a born natural fighter. You just had to take him and train him and cultivate his skills and stuff, and then
Exactly.
everything else is take to the next level. So, like I say, is this a common combination of different things that someone has to have in them? Because when you look at it, no, everybody's not a fighter.
Hmm.
Everybody does, yeah, and everybody who wants to box, yeah, everybody's not going to be a champion.
True.
There's just that elite that is just a special group that brings these fighters to the next level.
Absolutely. Not everybody has the hands of stone, and there is an upper echelon of fighters. I love your answers.
Yes,
Love your answers, honestly.
thank you.
Ali, I'll revert to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something quickly, and I agree with you, brother Tony. Through my travels over the years and living in Saudi for 10 years,
Hmm.
and traveling to countries which were like third world countries, I seen something like, uh, of my understanding from my coaching background and as a person, and I think like yes, it's a lot of people who watches boxing, for the entertainment aspect, maybe they're thinking, poverty makes a fighter. It's not the poverty that makes a fighter. You have countries who are really poor, but they can't produce fighter. But I think certain countries they
Hmm.
produce fighters is because of the mental mindset they have, because of the environment.
Hmm.
Countries like Russia, they had a very difficult time, and that communism created, this. Cold-hearted kind of people. And once you know
Hmm.
Russian people, they're actually you make friends with them. They're one of the most friendly people.
Hmm.
But the thing is, they're kind of cold,
Yeah.
from the outside. But
Yeah.
my Russian friend told me this is because of our background, our nature is because of
Hmm.
communism. But once
Yeah.
you know a Russian person, Ukrainian person, they're very cool, down to earth, and I think
Hmm.
those kind of environment created those fighters that we have today.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say something. Like Roy Jones, within the well, he's a citizen of Russia, and I
Hmm.
think fighters like Roy Jones had a big impact in countries like Russia because
Hmm.
as we can see, Bivol's style,
Hmm.
you would understand it's not completely Russian. I
Hmm.
believe the style of that Russian style has evolved over the years,
Hmm.
that aggressive style now is taking to a nature of like more movement, more throwing
Hmm.
jabs and using
Hmm.
angles, which we didn't see. It was more dimensional.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, you have to be versatile in there, of course.
Yeah,
Uh, it's like they say that the old saying, you can't play boxing. You can play
yeah,
basketball, baseball, and all that, but boxing you can't.
mhm,
Uh, because it's a very, very tough sport. Takes a great toll on your body, your mind. Um, so yeah, like I say, you definitely first of all understand what you're getting into.
yeah,
Okay, that's the key. Understand, what you're getting into, because there's good and bad in everything. There's a positive
mm,
and there's a negative side. To the sport. A lot of fighters when they start out, they're not as fortunate as some fighters who like for example, Sugar Ray Leonard, going through the Olympics and
mm,
coming out with contracts and or certain fighters who have great talent and they can be hooked up with somebody that can guide them, so to speak, as they go along. Some fighters, they don't have that opportunity, so these are lunch pail guys where they have to just come in
yeah,
and fend for yourself, But yeah, no, as you know, as a trainer, everything's about technique,
mm,
and everything's about adjusting to your opponent. Every fighter you face is not going to be the same. The only thing that's
yes.
going to be the same is they're throwing punches,
Mhm.
and stuff. But yeah, you have to have that versatility in there.
Gentlemen, not
Uh,
to interrupt, but we're going to be running out of time. I think Ali, yeah, I think this is a great episode. Number one, I really love the
yeah.
discussion. I love the questions,
Well,
but we're gonna have to conclude it at one point because
okay.
we have 5 minutes left. Ali, take the floor, ask what is necessary.
Okay. We'll invite you back, brother. It was wonderful
Absolutely.
having you.
Yes.
Um, it's great that you're involved, coming to Saudi Arabia and
Mm.
getting yourself involved in the sport of boxing. I wish I was there to see you, but hopefully in the future.
Yeah,
Uh,
inshallah.
and you know what, brother? You're still looking sharp. You still look the
Thank
same, and
you.
you're still rocking that high top.
That's the
Yeah,
trademark.
man.
That's the trademark.
That's the trademark, man. That's amazing that all these years you still have that high top, man. You're still looking fresh.
Thank you, brother. Well, like a Muslim, I try to live a clean
Yeah,
living, and
alhamdulillah. Yeah.
yeah,
We
every
need to big
now and
up your
then.
barber.
I'm sorry.
I said we need to big up your barber.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
I've had just in my boxing career, I only had two barbers.
Mm.
My first barber when I worked when I was working in Phoenix, and
Okay.
when I moved out here to Las Vegas, I
Mm.
have my regular barber ever since. So,
Yeah.
they both do a great job in hooking it up, and yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time. We'll speak again,
Yes,
Definitely.
inshallah.
Speak again.
It's wonderful speaking to you. You look healthy. You
thank
look
you,
good, brother. And
thank you.
all praise to the Almighty Creator.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
Mhm.
continue the positivity that you're doing. You're not just a boxing referee. You are a wonderful person inside and outside the ring. I know the stuff that you have been doing over the years. Your motivational talks that you have done. So
Yes.
this is great. I think we just it's a little chip in the
Hmm.
what we're gonna do in the future. Speaking about boxing and refereeing,
Hmm.
and I think it's great that we're speaking. I'm just gonna end it with the country of Saudi Arabia will need you immensely because of your knowledge.
Hmm.
And when I was there, they were talking about the grassroots, how they want to build boxing from the
Yeah.
amateur to the professional. So your
Yes.
knowledge is very, very important.
Thank you.
Being ignorant is not the time, is to get
No.
knowledge as,
Yeah. Yeah.
open-minded. What I learned over the
Yes.
years, get knowledge from everyone and keep your
Yeah.
mouth shut. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And and I would love to share my knowledge and help the country develop,
Mhm.
fighters, officials, everything, we don't get anywhere by ourselves. We always have someone, to help us and guide us. I was blessed to have someone to help me and guide me, and I want to pass that down to anybody and everybody who's willing to jump in there and want to do it. Yeah.
God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir,
Okay, my
for
brother.
your heart. We
Assalamu alaikum.
appreciate that.
And
And
inshallah, we'll speak
before
soon.
Ali,
And
Ali,
no,
before we end this, we gotta say this to Mr. Tony Weeks. When you're in town, please let us know. We'll take you on a proper tour of the country because we didn't get to do that the last time. But hopefully
Absolutely.
next time, as we say in Arabic, Nawarna, you'll light up our city, and we'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Because I want to go camel. I want to ride a camel.
We can take care of that. We can make that
Yeah.
happen. We can certainly make that
Okay.
happen. God
Yeah,
bless.
absolutely. No, thank you. And all praises due. The country, everybody treated me very well, very hospitable, and very, it made me feel at home.
alhamdulillah.
So yeah, I
Wonderful.
would definitely love to come back, and as you said, share my knowledge and help the country grow into boxing.
Certainly
And, and,
welcome. Certainly
and
welcome.
one thing I will say, you have good and bad everywhere. I'm from Canada, and
Mhm.
I think people have so much negative thoughts about, Saudi Arabia, you have good and bad everywhere. It doesn't matter where you
Oh
come
yeah.
from. We got so much
Mm,
wonderful things in Canada. You got wonderful
mm,
things in the U.S. And
yeah.
coming, and when you go to Saudi Arabia, you see the hospitality of the Saudis. You might
Yeah.
even see
Yeah.
negative things, but
Hmm.
overall, you will see that the great culture, how the people are hospitable, and
Yeah.
most of all, you get to enjoy your time and do what you like. Um,
Yes.
brother, sorry, we don't want to take more of your time. I think
Sure.
our sessions are ending, so may
Mm.
God continue to bless you and your family, and thank you for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. May God bless you guys. Appreciate you. All praises due to Allah. And assalamu alaikum, my brothers.
Wa alaikum
Assalamu
assalam.
alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you for your time, sir. God bless you. We'll be
You're
in touch.
welcome. May God.
Take care, brother.
Bye-bye.
All right, brother.
Tony Weeks, the renowned boxing referee. In the fast-paced and intense world of boxing, the role of a referee is both crucial and incredibly challenging. Tony Weeks, a name synonymous with experience and authority, has navigated through the complexities of the sport with remarkable professionalism and a touch of controversy. His background, journey through the ranks, significant bouts, and moments of contention paint a picture of a career dedicated to the integrity and spirit of the sport. Thanks for joining us on this boxing journey. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more sports content. Until next time, keep punching.